Hey ladies, it's Anna. I wanted to put together a quick little video just to get you guys in the loop. I think it will help if you guys check this out before we meet on Monday. First thing I wanted to talk about was Google and how Google search works and how rankings work on Google. So I did a quick search for Handmade Art Boutique, Brighton, Michigan. And what comes up first are the Google Map listings here. And then underneath that is what's called the Google Organic Search. And then a lot of times what will happen is these businesses that show up in Google Maps will also show up in the Google Organic searches. But I noticed that number 3 here, the Artisan's Bench, which is relevant to your guys' shop, it will be sort of similar in terms of at least offering handmade items and local artists' items. They don't show up in the Google Organic search at all. And at least on page 1. I'm sure if we skip forward, we'll find them eventually. What's interesting is that Google, they kind of change up what they do every now and then. Right now what they're doing for their maps is they're only showing what everyone likes to refer to as the 3-pack for the maps. Typically what you see when you do searches, like a Google search for something, I just did one for lawn care in Brighton, Michigan. This is what you see a lot, are ads at the top, then the Google Maps listing, and then the Google Organic search. So I found it interesting that when I did the search on Google, there wasn't any ads that came up. Really, that just means that none of these businesses are advertising their company. Studies show that more consumers click on the Google Organic searches compared to the ads anyway. But, you know, ads are a powerful way for businesses to bring in more customers. So that's sort of a general overview of Google. What can help a company or a boutique or a store get ranked in the Google Maps breaks down into a couple of things, and one of those is citations. Citations are basically your name, address, and phone number showing up across the web in different directories. For instance, Bing, businesses, Yelp, Yellow Pages, those kinds of things. But Google is always what I like to refer to as your anchor. Once you register a Google business page, you would set up citations with these other companies, and you need to have everything show up exactly. Your name, address, and phone number needs to show up exactly on all of those other directories as it does on the Google listing. If there's any discrepancy, like forgetting an apostrophe with artisans, that is not going to be registered in Google's algorithm as the same business. As crazy as that is, any little difference can sort of decrease the power. So what's really important is that all your citations are consistent. These things will help you rank in the Google Maps. So I went ahead and opened up just for fun to look at like the Artisan's Bench website, and because I wanted to copy it. It's a clean website. They actually have a shop now. They didn't used to have that, but that's a newer feature for them. But the other thing I wanted to look at was like their Google Plus page. So if you click on it, you can see, there we go. It has a fair number of pictures. Another thing that really helps besides citations in Google Maps is having a lot of pictures. Okay, it adds power to your Google listing, and Google is going to preferentially show businesses that sort of pimp out their Google business page. I recommend a minimum of 30 pages, and then in the description of the site, a minimum of 500 words on the Google Plus page. They also have some reviews, which is great. And then I just real quick wanted to look at some others. You know, we know the Yellow Door. They're registering as an art gallery, so is the Artisan Bench. I opened up their website, oops, and their website is not as, you know, modern and clean as aesthetically speaking compared to the Artisan's Bench, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a look. Another one you guys are probably familiar with is the Rust Belt Market. They've registered their business as a market in Google. And then another one that's kind of around is an art gallery called Posey in Royal Oak. So again, I mean, you guys, when you register your Google business, would probably be registering as an art gallery. Okay, moving on. So when it comes to your .com and your website, that's all going to be connected to your Google business page. And there's this really cool tool that you can use called Majestic. You can just go to Google Majestic, go to majestic.com, and you can put in any website. Okay, I put in the Artisans Bench because, speaking of local businesses that are similar, they're going to be a good fit. What this shows you is your trust flow and your citation flow. Okay, what these things are basically measures that are describing the site and how powerful it is, how natural it is, how much weight it's going to hold in like Google Analytics searches. So what this is telling me is there are 73 external backlinks and 26 referring domains. This means there are 26 different websites that are referencing the Artisans Bench. So if they get a mention in an article in like the Ann Arbor Observer or something, and it's linked to their website, that would be another domain sort of pointing to them, okay? And then you can scroll down a little bit, and there's some other things in here that describe that, the anchor text and the backlinks. Now basically the anchor text is just the text that is highlighted, that is linked rather to their website. So maybe it would, like here you can see the Artisans Bench, okay, those words were linked to their website. And another one, it was visit website, okay. There's another one that's Artisans Bench with the apostrophe, Artisans Bench without the apostrophe. So all of these are just basically descriptions of the type of anchor text that was used to link back to their site. Anyway, the more referring domains and external backlinks you have, the better chance you have at ranking in organics searches on Google. So that's just kind of a neat tool that you can use to kind of check out your competition. Alexa is another one, free tool, completely free, that you can use, and it looks at things like global rank. I put in the Yellow Door market because when I put in the Artisans Bench, they didn't even register on here, as what showed up was some other company in Atlanta, which says a little bit about their website and how it was set up. But for instance, Yellow Door, you come in, you see they have a global rank. Not all companies even have a global rank. It's cool that they do. A lot of times you'll have more information here, visitors by country. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. But the best thing about this is that it shows you the top keywords that search engines use to find this company. So Yellow Door, the Yellow Door, Door Art, Berkeley Art, and the Yellow Door store. Okay, so when I look at this, I see Yellow Door and the Yellow Door. Those are bringing in the most traffic. So this to me says brand recognition. People who are searching for this website are finding it using those terms. Okay, so you can learn a lot from this. Okay, you can learn a lot what your competition is bringing in when people are searching. It tells me that their website really isn't optimized for people to find them under things like Handmade Art Boutique, Brighton, Michigan, right? So, and it also tells me when, for instance, Artisans Bench doesn't show up in the Google organic searches here, that, you know, maybe their website really isn't optimized to be found for those search terms, okay? So this was just a real quick overview of giving you guys an idea of how you can use the power of Google essentially to drive more business to your storefront. And I think the other thing that would be important is this, what we talked about a little bit on the phone, is maybe expanding your market, not necessarily just Brighton, Michigan, but to surrounding areas like Ann Arbor and Lansing. And so when people search for, you know, art boutiques in those different areas, you guys would also show up. So I hope this was a good overview for you guys, and we'll speak with you on Monday.